Welcome to Storytales, where love for pets meets the pursuit of dreams. I'm Penny.
I'm Rae.
Here, we will be unleashing our passion for pets and share our thoughts and experiences as we journey through our lives as pet and business owners.
Today, we will be discussing about pet wellness and health.
Alrighty, let's dive in and make some positive waves.
Hey Penny, welcome back to my home.
I know, we always film our podcast at Rae's home.
Yeah.
Because she has a baby and, we need to make, to travel.
Because we are trapped inside the house.
Yeah, travel more efficient for her. Yeah. So I'm always here. And she feeds me tea. So what's the tea, Rae? I'm drinking lately.
I believe it's rose Nigerian tea, right?
Yeah, no, I was talking more like any tea, like
tea.
any teas. I'm joking. We'll save the gossiping for later, not on our podcast. But today we wanted to talk more about pet health and wellness.
Yes,
because I feel like that's something we don't really think about until it's too late. Like until you start seeing symptoms, until just everything, right? Because I feel like there's ways to prevent these things, and because when people own pets, or even when I had my first pet, you just think, oh, I just want a pet.
Yeah.
But we don't think about all the responsibilities, all the things that come from it. For example, we talked about spaying recently in our episodes.
Yes.
Right? And that's also part of health and wellness, but there's more things we can do to prevent health issues and keep them safe, right?
What do you think the most overlooked issue for pet owner?
I think it's the environment, where you're putting them in the environment. Because I know, we talked about how some people like to keep their dogs in the backyard as guard dogs.
Oh yeah, that's how
we've, some people like to crate their dogs all day, or even, I don't know how cat owners, would they do that? I'm not sure.
Oh, do you know there's actually cat cage?
Cat cages.
Yeah, it looked like those very big parrot cage, so they can jump inside.
So they just enclose them in that area only. Yeah, and and some people like to just keep their dogs in the garage. Some people like me who likes to just let their dog roam around the house,
Yeah.
But there's things we have to put in place to make sure they're safe, right? My dogs get freedom in the home, but when we're out, we always make sure they're contained in a certain area, because you don't know what they might get into or eat or do something that might cause them to hurt themselves.
Yes.
Let's start with you and your cats. What do you think is the first thing you take precaution or more proactive measures in keeping your pet healthy and safe?
I think environment is one of the things. Yeah, and it is tend to overlook. For example, I think I mentioned a couple times already, latte has sensitive stomach. And then sometimes we may not clean the kitchen sink as clean as we should. You still have a tiny bit of, food scratch. But then without the cat, without latte at home, it's okay because Bagel doesn't bother with those things. But latte will actually go and try to eat those tiny bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then he will eat those things, and then he got sick and have diarrhea again.
Oh, wow.
And it actually recently just happened again.
Oh, no.
So I have to be very good on cleaning the kitchen sink and getting rid of everything and leave all the food from, anywhere that he can reach.
That makes sense, because I know a lot of people, they have the little strainer.
Yeah, I do have that, but it still doesn't.
And then they would leave the food in there after they wash the dishes and not clean it out. I can see that causing a problem for your cat.
Yeah, and also now because it happened too frequent.
Yeah.
And so now I just have a habit that before I sleep, I will, go check out all the kitchen and dining area, see if there's leftover food that I didn't put away, or it's still dirty bowls or in the kitchen sink. Because sometimes you just I will do it tomorrow.
Yeah, you're I'm tired.
Yes.
That's interesting, yeah, because cats can jump up, unlike dogs. My dogs can't get to the bowls and stuff. But, whenever I eat like chicken wing or something, I make sure I throw those immediately because...
Oh, yeah, they will dig through them.
Yeah, they will. They'll find a way. I remember once when I was in college, I had a McDonald's cheeseburger, actually it wasn't a cheeseburger. It was more like a Egg McMuffin. There you go. Egg McMuffin with like a hash brown.
Okay.
And I put it on my desk. And then I went downstairs to grab something, and the next thing I know, I grabbed the sandwich to eat it, and I was like, "Where's all the filling?" So it was just the buns, nothing inside the middle.
Not even the egg?
No. I was like, someone took it. I think it was either my dog or my cousin's dog.
The dog got the best part.
Yeah, they don't eat the bread, they eat the meat, you know?
That's pretty smart.
I was like, where's my cheese? Where's my egg? Like, it's gone, the ham. Yeah. And I looked at them, they were just like licking in their mouth, like, done. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, you gotta be careful where you put your food.
Yeah, and another thing, this is Bagel's problem. Bagel is more curiosity, and he will want to open all the cabinet. I don't know how he learned that.
Yeah,
but he know how to open the drawers and cabinets.
Yeah.
So I had to buy those baby proof lock.
Oh, baby proof locks. Okay.
Yeah, to lock on my cabinet. It's not for my baby.
It's for your cat.
It's for Bagels.
Hey, they're forever babies, all right.
Yeah, and because one day I found out he opened the cabinet under the kitchen sink, and that's where I put like those chemical cleaners.
Oh no!
Like, what if he knocked over and then it spilled on him, right?
Oh no! Yeah, if you guys have a smart cat like Bagel, make sure to lock it up because. Yeah, they're gonna open it and find it.
Yeah, and also like cat, he can jump up and high. So sometimes he will also jump on the counter, try to open like the taller cabinet. And what if he break like glasses and then he stay over the broken glasses? That can also hurt him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, talking about stepping on things, like a lot of people I notice likes to take their dogs on a walk. Hey, Latte.
And we have Latte.
Yeah, the cat is here in case you guys are wondering if you're listening in.
Yes.
Trying to steal my tea. But anyways, speaking of protecting the feet, I know a lot of people like to walk their dogs, which is amazing. But especially on a hot summer day like today, the concrete is like burning.
Yes.
A lot of people don't realize it's actually hurting your pet, even though they're not showing any signs of it.
I know, like, I think in our blog, we always talk about like try to take the pet outside when in a cooler time.
Yeah.
Like walk them in like, early morning or later at night.
Yeah. Or if you're walking them on a hot summer day, walk on grass.
Yes.
Grass doesn't burn like concrete. I remember seeing someone have their dog with them at a tennis court, and they're like playing tennis, and the dog's like, whenever like the ball misses and it bounces to the back, the dog would go and grab it and play with it. But they didn't realize that the surface of the tennis court was super hot.
Yeah, it hurt the paws.
Yeah, it burned the paws so much that it started like peeling.
Oh,
and you start to see like almost like a 3rd degree burn on there.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so always be mindful of where you're walking your pet, because even though they might not show it in their face, you're gonna notice that, oh my gosh, they burnt their feet or it's bleeding or something.
Even walking in the mud is better than walking on concrete.
Exactly. Yeah. Walking in the mud is better. At least you can rinse it off.
Have you ever heard of? I don't know you, but I do heard of people telling me like, I don't let my dog walk in the mud because it's dirty. I'd rather they walk on the concrete.
It's not dirty. I mean, there may be bugs in there, but
because
it's not dirty.
Because sometimes the mud will get into between your paws. They don't like it.
Yeah, but it's easier to clean rather than trying to fix an injury. You know. So yeah, I recommend grass. Yuffie loves the grass. She'll roll all over it.
Yes, Bagels also love the grass.
Yeah. The grass has a smell that they love. And sometimes, like, if their stomach feels like it's hurting, they usually want to like eat the grass. But just make sure whatever plant that they're trying to chew on doesn't have pesticide or anything that, because that's another thing to consider. Like, it might be cute that they're eating the grass, but make sure no one sprayed any bug spray on it.
Yeah, like weed killers and stuff.
Yeah, weed killers especially.
Yes.
It's like being mindful and understand like just common sense, I feel like.
Yeah.
But we just overlook it because we're either on our phones, busy, doing something, multitasking.
And also they don't talk, right? They can't tell you like, oh, my feet is hurting.
Yeah. Oh, it smells like poison here.
Or like they cry about that.
Yeah, that is true.
Because animal tolerance is higher than human, I think.
Especially like when I was talking about people who leave their dogs outside as guard dogs. Yeah, you guys, put a dog house for them. But if they have only like concrete to sit on and nothing to cushion them, or even make sure whatever you're cushioning them is clean, ultimately they'll build calluses when they're laying down, like their elbows and their any like parts of their feet that is touching the concrete will build callus, and callus can get infected. I've seen that happening with a few dogs in my family before, and that's why I never really like to train dogs to be outside. I'd rather have them indoor mostly and go out for walks. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, how about another thing? I've seen like my friends have their dog has like a carpet burn. How do you avoid that?
Well, don't play fetch at home. Play fetch at the grass.
Oh, I see.
Because they're probably running around.
I see.
And carpet does heat up, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's them playing that's causing it. Do you know if your friend, what happened to their pets?
No, they say just daily life, they are running around in the house, and that's how they get burns, and then they say it's unavoidable.
It is avoidable if you just take them out, like I feel like it's just more like the lazy human nature, just let them running around,
Oh, I see.
Like if you see them running around, then go grab your leash and go like, hey, let's go outside,
because, they have too much energy to burn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like, I know some people take their dogs, like they leash train and off leash train their pets. Mm-hmm. And when they see there's no one in a big field, they just let them do their running in big circles.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Just so they can like let it out of their system. Because even as human, right? Like we sometimes like to go for a run and let it out of our system. But, not everyone likes to run, but the people who do,
or like go for a drive.
Yeah, go for a drive.
Swing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept. Like your dog just wants that that feeling of satisfaction of them being able to move their feet, and in the fresh air, especially on the grass. So I think that's the main way to do it, because I know it gets exhausting. You have a long day at work, but when you see your pets having certain behavior or having certain action, you just have to kind of push yourself to go like, hey, I gotta help them.
Yeah, because that's also your responsibility.
Yeah.
That's why you choose to be a pet owner.
Yeah.
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 Always follow their cue. Don't ignore the cue. You don't want them to hurt themselves.
That's exactly it, because they show body language.
Yes.
Like we just talk like how we're talking on this podcast, but
they can talk to us.
Yeah, they can. Otherwise, I would love to bring one in here to tell us how they feel, but no, we can't, and we just have to observe and be patient with them, see how they're reacting to things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's also another thing people tend to overlook, and you mentioned a couple times.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, dental issue for pets.
Oh, yes, dental and just overall hygiene, right? Like, when you start to smell bad breath from a pet, there's something wrong. Like, you either have to clean it, get it brushed, get a dental cleaning, something, right? But don't just leave it alone and think, oh, like, yeah, my dog's breath just stinks or my cat's breath just stinks. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you have no way to clean your own mouth, and yet you're stinking up and no one's helping you.
That's true. But then sometimes other people's argument would be like, then how do other animals in the wild clean themselves?
The thing is, we give them whatever they intake, right? So other animals in the wild, they probably chew on things. Things that are whatever's laying around, like a branch or whatever. But like if you're not giving them chew toys, or like even snacks are good for their teeth, like strawberries are really good for them to chew and clean their teeth.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's safe for pets. I mean, you don't want to give them too much, but like the bit of acidity in it, as well as like the texture when they chew on it, helps clean the teeth. I mean, it's not gonna completely clean it, but you should be helping them brush your teeth if you want them to have better, And how do you know if wild animals out there have a longer life expectancy?
Oh, I actually do know.
Oh, you do know?
They don't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I do know the answer. Like, usually the domestic cat has longer life.
Yeah.
Because first they don't get in the accident and they don't get humped.
Yeah.
And also, as the pet owner, we help them with their hygiene.
Exactly. it's like even human, right? Like
Yes.
if we were just living out in the wild with no shelter, we'd probably have less of a lifespan, you know?
Yes, exactly.
So that's why it's important to help them when we can, if we notice these things. Like Buffy, she has chronic ear infection because she's like some allergic to something. I still can't figure out what it is, and she tends to get like oily in the ears easily. So I always have to make sure, like, even if she doesn't get showers often, I have to at least make sure she washes her ears every week to like 2 weeks
I see.
with like a flush, and to keep the bacteria from coming back. And if it comes back full blown, usually I would try to get a doctor prescription.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, to like use like specific ointments to kill the
Bacteria?
Yeah, it might be a yeast infection, it might be something else, but you have to let the doctor test it to know what it is. Yeah.
Dang, I don't think Buffy can survive in the wild.
She'll be stinky. if she was in the wild, she'll be stinky because she'll smell like infection, you know? Like, I don't know if you smell like infection on a dog before. It's kind of the sour
I see.
smell to it. Yeah, it's just a buildup of like, you know, bacterial infection. Yeah. Yeah, they rely on us, you know, to help them take action. So we have to be proactive and not be lazy and not just ignore the signs.
And do you think there's also other thing you've been noticed around your environment or from your experience?
There are like also uncontrollable health conditions, like for example like skin conditions. Like I used to have a Pomeranian who a lot of people like would probably immediately don't want this Pomeranian anymore because he has this very thick crusty black skin on him.
I see.
And sometimes it's genetics, and people have to realize like some dogs have these types of genetic diseases, skin diseases, that it doesn't affect their quality of life, but it just doesn't look pleasant.
Yeah.
You know, and so people start to, you know, feel like it's too much work, things like that. And it's not really. It's just, you know, you just gotta like cope with it. If it's not bothering them, it shouldn't bother you. You know, it might just be unpleasant looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that our Pomeranian has, and it's very common apparently for Pomeranians, is like a skin condition called mice. Yeah.
Mice? Like
mice.
Bug?
It's not a bug, but like it's just the skin is hard, crusted, like a dog skin is usually like pink or white looking, you know.
Yeah.
But like you just see like a layer of like black skin on it that's crusty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so it didn't affect its health, but it was more like, you know. Oh, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is when you have two pets, that same Pomeranian,
they transmit the.
Oh no, they don't transmit the skin condition. But I was trying to say more like if you have two pets, try to see how they act with each other.
Oh yes.
Because like a lot of the time people get two pets thinking it's okay to just have two pets because they're just going to accompany each other. But a lot of times pets don't get along. And and the case with the one with the mice, he is like a very timid, really nice Pomeranian. And my grandma who lived with us bought a Pekingese, and she did not like him at all.
Oh, wow.
She would bully him. She wouldn't let him eat his own food, you know. She'll quickly eat all of his. And that can also cause a shorter life expectancy on another dog because it's not just the physical abuse from the other dog, but it's the emotional abuse.
Yeah. They also get mental illness.
Yeah, it makes them sadder. It gives them anxiety that can cause a lot of health issues. So our Pomeranian, because we didn't know better that, like, just because my grandma lived with us with her dog and we had our dog, like, we were able to prevent the bullying issue, but because, like, of that environment he's been in, he was more prone to, like, a heart attack.
I see.
So, like, rather than living up to, like, 12, 13 years, he only lived up to 10 years.
Oh, that's sad.
Because like he had a heart attack, but I mean it could be other things too. I don't know, but I always feel like it was because of the environment he was in and who he was interacting with that gave him that heart condition.
Yeah, I think another thing I want to follow up is March.
Yeah.
When adult March, he was a healthy kitties, and then when he was in like his middle age, around 7 8, there's one time. I take him to the annual checkup, and then the vet was telling me, "Oh, I think your cat might have like other disease." Oh. And it turned out he has a genetic heart disease, I think easy to say is like he has heart murmur. So that means like his heart muscle is bigger around his heart, and then you just have to have a long-term medication. And that's just another thing, right? Like as a pet owner, some people will probably be like, oh, this is tedious, we don't want those things. But I choose to help him to take the medication. It's pretty tedious. Like we have to crush the pills,
put in his food or something,
and then it had to be like is it the right dose, and then we cannot miss. So there's also another reason why for March I also having hard time to find a pet sitter, because I don't trust other people will
make sure he has
his medication. But then it's just like human, right? If there's people out there have like diabetes or high blood pressure, as long as you take your medication, you still have your prolonged life. And there's also another thing that when you have pet, this is something it might happen to you, and then you just have to be more cautious to do all those things for your pet.
No, I totally agree with that. It's like, again, we are their arms and legs.
Yes.
We're we're the ones that know what's best for them. Like, they don't know.
Yes, exactly.
And I think of them like the forever babies. Like you can kind of compare and see since you have a baby, and like, but the thing is with pets, they never grow up.
And they don't cry.
And they don't cry. No, Buffy cries.
Oh, Buffy cried? Okay.
She was crying the other day when I was taking my sister's dog to grooming. And she's like, why are you taking them and not me?
My cats don't cry.
Oh, well, like my dog has separation anxiety, I think. Yeah.
So is there other tips or things you would like to share that you see?
The whole like no leash thing always bothers me. I know we talked about that before.
We always talk about it. Our listener probably like, oh gosh, they are talking about no leash again.
Well, I mean, I get it. It's fine to have no leash trained pets. It's fine, but
and a lot of people are proud of that too.
I know they're proud of it, and I would be proud if my dogs are don't need a leash to not run off. Actually, Buffy will not run off. She's too scared to. But it's more about the environment you can't control. Like, you can control your dog off a leash, but you can't control someone, like, zooming up with a bike and then hit your dog,
Yeah. Or some other people's dog attack your dog.
Yeah, or someone else's, or, like, something that might startle your pet. I honestly feel like people should really think about that. Yeah. It's not about, like, restraining your pets, because I know it's all about you want them to get freedom, you trust them, they're your, partner in crime, but you want to prevent accidents from happening. Yeah, because I've seen it before. I've seen it happen many times. People who love having their pets off leash, and I can't emphasize enough, like, you don't want to see your pet paralyzed down or worse,
Yeah, I've seen you mention, there's also another thing been bothering me, like, sometimes you see two dogs fighting at the same time. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen that often.
Oh, I see it often, every day with my mom's dog and my dog.
So imagine that, your dog is attacking a stranger's dog. Yeah. Or, your dog get attacked. And both of them are on leash. And the first reaction that humans usually have is try to pull.
They jerk them off, yeah.
But it's so bad. Yeah. Because I think it damages them more, right? There must be a better way to remove them. Do you know how you can do that?
So I remember online I saw a case where people were at some pet expo. And do you remember that one?
Yes.
People were at some pet expo, and then two dogs got into a fight, and then one of them bit onto a tinier dog and like won't let go. Rather than yanking the pet, that's hurting the pet. Yeah. Like, you need to focus your energy on, like, figuring out a way to open up the mouth.
Like, relax their jaw, right?
Yeah. I don't know the best solution. I feel like I've looked it up before. As the person who owns that dog that's more aggressive, you should really find ways to know how to calm down your pet. Because the moment they clench their jaw, there's no opening it back up. Yes. So don't pull, don't panic. I mean, it does look scary at that moment, but you're doing your dog a favor if your dog is the one being bit. And you yanking them is gonna just make it worse.
Yeah, it's also another thing. They can feel the surrounding energy, right? Yeah. All those, like, energy around them make them nervous even more, so they will want to come.
When you say that, it's true, because when I say my mom's dog and my dog, like, they have their little disputes, the more I leave them alone, the more they don't fight or get more aggressive. The moment I try to block them from fighting with each other, the more they want to really bite each other's head off, you know?
Oh, wow.
But thankfully, they lost most of their teeth because they're old. Especially Bella, my mom's dog. Like, Yuffie still has teeth, but Bella doesn't. And Bella's usually the one that likes to bite onto my dog.
I see.
But because she has no teeth, it doesn't hurt my dog, you know? But I just know that when I try to insert myself, it gets worse than like them just kind of ease it off. Like, it's almost like, oh, walk it off, guys, walk it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like that. So maybe rather than like screaming and like yelling at the other person and their dog, maybe just try to be calm and try to pick your dog up.
I see.
Especially if your dog's smaller than the other person's.
Yes.
And at least, like, if the dog does attack, I don't think the dog will like attack you. Hopefully, if it does, then that's another problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also another accident that recently just happened in my household too. So because I've been so busy with my baby, so I have been lacking my duty for
your
cutting
cats.
their nails.
Oh, the nails.
Yes. So both of cats have like very long nails now, short nails. So my concern was, I am trying not let the cat get too close to the baby, so they will not hurt the babies.
Yeah.
But then I did not think of that, you know, while they are playing with long nails, they might hurt each other.
Yeah.
So now, like, Latte has like a little scratch on their face.
Oh, no.
And then Bagel has a little scratch on his stomach. And so because I didn't
trim their nails.
Yeah, trim their nails.
Yeah, nail trimming is important. Like, even my dogs, if their nails get too long, it curves. Like, it curves in, like, circular.
Oh, okay.
And then it starts to dig into their skin like this.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
so like, you always want to make sure you trim them because it'll start to hurt them. And it might even, like, you know, dig into their skin and cause even more pain. But cats, I think they're different, right? They're more
pointy.
pointy.
Like sharper, pointy.
Yeah.
And thicker. Yeah, so I was like, why does Latte come back with a little scratch on his face and then like Bagel has a little scratch on his stomach?
Yeah,
and
long nail problems.
Because long nails problem.
Yeah, hygiene is important. Like, we'll probably go into deeper about hygienes in another episode, but yeah, pay attention to their hygienes because that makes a difference of how for their health too. Yeah. Yeah. How about you? Like, any other things you've noticed? Food, yes.
Because like when I was having March, I didn't know there's like big difference in the food. So I just get certain brand. I'm not gonna say which brand is that, and because everyone tell me it's a good brand, and then it's also very like affordable price.
Yeah.
And he has been that brand for so long until like when he was at 4 or 5 years old, and then my man was like, you know, your cat is obese. I was like, what do you mean obese? He doesn't look that bad. He was like, he is on the fat side. You need to lose his weight. I was like, but he already eats so little.
Yeah.
And then later on, she was like, what food did you give him? And I told him the brand. He was like, you know, that's kind of like McDonald's for them.
Oh.
You need to buy other brand.
Yeah.
And you need to learn how to read the nutritions in the cat food.
It's just like human, you know? Like, we see all these food on the shelves that look really good.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Cereals and whatnot and granola bars and all these things.
But you never imagine that is also another thing that I need to do for my pet. So then I actually, you know, start learning how to read the labels and then how to read the ingredients. And finally, after I switch a brand, he started losing the weight. And he get to eat more too because the volume is
And he likes it more.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
Yeah, because you like McDonald's or you like normal food?
I mean, I'm not a picky eater, but I do love McDonald's, which I can't have lately because of my gluten sensitivity.
Yeah. So it was actually difficult for him to switch his food. It took me like 2 months to switch his, you know, food to other brand.
Yeah.
But then I do see that after he does that, like, he started losing weight, even though he's eating more than before, and then his pee doesn't stink.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
You output what you eat.
Yes, and then that's how I was like, okay, maybe he is getting healthier just by switching a food.
Yeah.
So food is another thing that people tend overlook as well.
Yeah. And then another thing about food is not just what you feed them, but like when you feed them, how you feed them. Like, for example, I know people who would leave out their dog food out for hours, but especially if you have like more of the cooked dog food, you don't want to leave them out for hours because things like flies can contaminate it, or food can go bad. Like, even when we leave food out for over 20 minutes, easily it can get bad.
Yeah, how come we do that for ourselves, we don't do that for our pet? Like,
Exactly.
Would you eat the burrito bowl you left for 5 hours on your dining
Exactly,
table?
no. Exactly.
But then you want your dog to go finish that.
Exactly, no. So, like, if you see your pet's done with eating and there's still food in there, then put a container on it and then like put it in the fridge until they can finish it again. Like, don't just leave it there out for hours and then just have them come back to it. If they're hungry, they will, and then they're gonna diarrhea and all this stuff, and then you don't want to deal with that, or even worse, right?
Yeah. And another thing is, like, do you feed your pet kibbles?
Recently I have, yes.
Okay, so I used to only feed my cat kibbles because it's the most convenient food ever. And then later on, again, March has a lot of problem.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know like cat doesn't like to drink water.
Yeah.
And then he has been eating a lot of kibble, so kibble is on a higher carb end.
Yeah.
And also he doesn't drink a lot of water, so it causes him to have like crystal in his urine.
Oh no.
So then that's like his first accident. Like, we had to take him to like emergency room, and then found out that he cannot pee because he's like, lack of water. And also just a simple food switch. I changed him from kibbles to canned food. He doesn't have that issue anymore.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think every dogs are all different,
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you have to see what's right for your pet. Not every type of food is a cookie cutter for every type of pet.
I know some people have kibbles and they have like good experience, but I just don't have that experience for my cat.
Yuffie never liked kibble. When she was younger, she always wanted the wet food, the treats, But now, because she has chronic kidney disease, she's been having it for a year, actually over a year now. And I had to switch her to like a renal diet, a prescription, and it's basically kibble and wet food mix.
Oh, okay.
And she's actually eating the kibble on its own too. Like, she actually likes it, and I was actually very surprised by that. But it's interesting because like after you feed them that, and there's still a little bit of kibble left, because some people just leave even kibbles in the bowl, right?
Okay.
So like I thought, hey, maybe she'll finish it later, but she will not finish it. Like, she knows when food's bad. So I will take it away and then put new ones, and behold, she'll just start eating again.
Oh, okay. So she knows.
She's smart. Yeah. Like, a lot of times dogs will tell you whether or not they want to eat this. Even though they were eating it, they will not eat it later because they know it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even with water, if there's mildew in it, things like that.
Oh yes, water is another thing. It's like some people, they just give it like a big jar of water, right?
Yeah.
For days.
I have those like water dispensing ones, but like I fill it halfway because if you fill it all the way and it lasts for 3 days, most likely the water will get dirty and nasty because of like dust, their saliva, the food that falls from their mouth, and then it can makes the water nasty that they don't want to drink it. So I usually just fill it halfway and then just try to refill it more often rather than keeping a big jug for them because it's gross, Yeah.
Yeah. Since you mentioned water, I think water intake is also another thing for pet owners. Like, how do you deal with water intake with your pet?
Yuffie is the most picky one, I have to say. The other two, like my mom's dog and Buffy, they'll drink water from any bowl. Okay. Like Yuffie, I have to make sure I put bowls everywhere, like from my nightstand to like the floor of my room to like the downstairs. Like, she's too lazy to go to one location to get water.
Yeah, so you just put multiple places, encouraging
her to drink. And sometimes it takes a while. Like, I even sometimes like put her right next to her. She will not look at it, smells around, and then goes back and drinks it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's like, and like they will forget to drink water until you put it next to them. It's weird. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually different from my cat.
Yeah.
And my cats refuse to drink water from their own bowls.
They want their own, each other's.
They always play with the water whenever I give them the fresh water in water bowl. But they want to drink from your cups.
Oh, from this?
Yeah, from humans'
from
cups.
the mugs.
So sometimes I put like multiple cups out there and pretend it's mine.
But it's actually for them.
And then they will start like try to take few sip. But like it still doesn't work out as much as I want. So now I mix the water in the food.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Because they eat canned food anyway.
Yeah.
So I just put a lot of water.
Yeah.
In their food. Yeah. So my cat is trained by eating diluted food, I guess.
Yeah.
But it worked out for both of us. So now I don't need to worry about their water intake.
Oh, that's good.
As long as I finish all the food.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, my dog's like, Yuffie, she will tell you she's thirsty.
Oh, yeah.
She'll like literally slap the bowl, like especially the stainless steel ones. She'll be like that.
Oh, that's smart.
And I'm just like, oh, okay, it's empty. Okay, I gotta fill it. Yeah, and I keep water bottle all over my room too. Okay. So like I can pour some water in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like not the plastic ones, but like the refillable ones. I just keep them filled up. Yeah, and then pour it in, so I don't have to run downstairs and do it.
Yes,
because I don't feed my dogs tap water. I know they're too bougie for tap water. They drink pH water.
Oh wow, so
bougie dogs. Yeah, but I noticed clean water, filtered water makes a difference. Like especially for Maltese.
It does.
Yeah, like have you seen Maltese? They have like a lot of tears.
Yeah.
My dogs never have that.
They don't?
No, because
it's like one of the common things that the pet owner needs.
Yeah, and it's because I feed my dogs filter water.
Oh, okay. So you had to let them live on the bougie life.
Yeah, because they'll have less tears.
Oh, okay.
They probably still have tears, but it's just not the dark, nasty ones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was kind of like a trial thing I did like in college, because in college I didn't have bougie water, so I was like filled water from the sink and then like let them drink it. But I noticed Yuffie started getting like the dark stuff, and we used to use something called angel eyes. It's like a powder you put on their food and stuff like that, and they eat it, and it should prevent the tears.
Does it work?
It works, but like I was those are expensive too, the little
powder.
Are they
like herbs or?
I think it's like a type of herb or something to cleanse,
Okay.
So I thought, if it's to like, clean their system, maybe it is filter water. So I started doing filter water, bottled water, and then behold, the tears are gone.
Oh yeah, so don't forget this trick, people. Feed the filter water for your pets.
Yeah, especially if you don't want those dark tears covering their eyes, Yeah. Saves you money on grooming. They're like dirty face, extra charge.
I know. Cheaper than, what.
Yeah, and then talking about food, a lot of people don't store their dry food properly.
Oh yeah, they just leave it open, right?
Yeah, leave it wide open. I told you guys about my roommate, I think.
Yeah, the maggot story.
Yeah, the maggot. Yeah, so don't let that like food get exposed. Yeah.
Every time, I will put my dry food in another sealed containers.
Yeah.
Because Latte, he will try to, chew out the bags.
Oh, wow. He'll try to chew it out. It's hilarious.
I don't know if you'll have this kind of problem for your dogs.
If it's a treat, yes. like the dried chicken treat, it's in the plastic bag. If I leave that somewhere where they can access it, they will rip up that bag just to get to that chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing is don't be lazy. Just put your food or your treat into other containers.
Yeah. And I think that's like really the learning lesson here is don't be lazy.
Yes, exactly. Don't be lazy. Take your pet out.
Yeah, just
take them to walk.
Just see what they need and do it, Like, I know we are tired. We have a lot going on. But, they rely on us, so.
But then you choose to, be a pet owner, and then they did not choose you.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's like you choose to have a child and they didn't choose you to be their parent,
And also another thing, right? Even though you went out for work, like 9 to 5 or even later, but he is cooped at home the whole day.
Yeah,
He's probably like bored to death. He's like, oh, when is she gonna come back? I want to go out and play.
Yeah, and different pets have different energy levels, Yes. And you have to pay attention to that because it's their mental health as well.
Yeah, like speaking of mental health, I know like there's another story I heard. This dog, he never been out because owner are lazy. They're just using like the excuse like, oh, we are so tired from our work, and then we have family, you know, we also have children to take care. But then, dude, you have a freaking big dog, you need to take them out. But then, no, she doesn't. And you know what kind of accident happened?
What happened?
So she gets super excited whenever she hears something, like a mailman, anything. And then I guess a few weeks ago, that's what I heard. The mailman, you know, just stopped by and dropped the mails. And then he was so excited. And then he tried to get out. And then he keeps scratching. And then one of the nails just flew out or something.
Oh,
so
my God.
So the dog has been wearing little booty and the socks.
Oh,
to prevent, you know, more damage.
Oh my gosh. And they needed a nail trim. Probably too.
That I don't know, but I know that one of the nails flew out because he's so aggressive. Yeah, excitement, trying to get out of the house to meet people.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that's also another thing, right?
Yeah. Don't be lazy, guys. Don't be lazy. That's really the advice here. Don't be lazy.
If you want to be lazy, maybe pet ownership is not fit for you. I know it's cool to have a dog and pet, or, you know, any pet. But if you don't have the time, it's a really big commitment. That's something that people don't see. Even if you have a fish. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's okay. I will just get, you know, a tank of fish, and then fish die.
Yeah, and you know, if you're too lazy to clean the tank, of course the fish will die.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think fish is like pet.
It's interesting. Fish is like, you have to feed them food, and you have to empty their tanks because the food can cause bacteria and mold. Yeah. You know, you gotta keep it clean.
But sometimes I don't know. I just think people like always say that, oh, you know, I'm stressed out from my work or from my school. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, I was like, then why did you go get yourself a pet?
Yeah. You know, you're right. It's all excuses. I mean, I've had Yuffie's since my whole college career, my whole, you know, life career.
Yes.
Like, you just gotta pay attention to them. You know, and she's 15 almost and still running around, mm-hmm. asking me for food, jumping down the couch.
And she looked very good. Like, she's a kitty. You know, as a old lady, she looked very young.
Yeah, and that all has to do with how much attention you give your pet and not be lazy about their needs. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's all I had to say. How about you, Rae?
Yeah, I think so. I think we share a lot of, you know, life stories.
Yeah, I think, you know, we continue to figure out these things. And if you guys have any pet health and safety tips that you guys think we miss, feel free to comment. You know, if
DM us.
Yeah, and if you like what we shared, you know, rate us.
Yes.
5-star, please.
And don't forget to follow our social media, Instagram, Facebook, and check out our blog in our website, omnipetclub.com.
Yep, and until next time, see ya later.
Bye-bye.